So, good morning class. Today we are going to learn about unit number 2, and in that we are going to learn about the consistency. So, consistency means the relative ease with which soil can be deformed. That is, the soil property is changed. This term is mostly used for fine-grained soils for which the consistency is to a large extent to the water content. Since you know that black cotton soil is a fine-grained soil, and you know that if you add water it will swell, and remove water it will shrink. So that is what it is showing the deformation with respect to the water content. So the consistency denotes the degree of firmness of the soil, which may be termed as soft, firm, stiff or hard. Fine-grained soil may be mixed with water to form a plastic paste which can be molded into any form by pressure. So you can calculate the values with respect to the experiments, and you can term the soils as soil firm, soft, swift or hard. And the plasticity index, when we calculate by calculating the plastic limit by the pressure of palm. So next we are going to do with the help of the scientist, Swedish scientist or agriculturalist in 1911. Swedish agriculturalist Atterberg has divided all the particles, all the ranges or states in 4 types. First is liquid limit, second is plastic limit, third is semi-solid state, and fourth is the solid state. So these are the 4 values. So first we'll determine the liquid limit of the soil. Reference is IS 2720 part 5 1985 and IS 2720 part 6 1972. So these are the apparatus which are used to calculate the liquid limit. They are known as the Atterberg's Casagrande's apparatus. Casagrande was one of the scientists who invented this method. So this apparatus is known as Casagrande's apparatus. So this is liquid limit device, patula means spoon, grooving tool, and these are the moisture contained cans, and this is the soil specimen. In next case, you will take the soil, add first water content. You have to take different water content for the 4 to 5 readings. As you can see, there are 4 cans are taken. That means 4 readings you have to take. So for 4 readings you have to take different water contents. That means if you had added water 30 ml here, then you have to increase the water content for remaining readings. After adding the water gradually in the soil specimen, mix it thoroughly and paste it in this Casagrande's apparatus evenly, leaving this 1/4 part of the apparatus. After that, you can see the groove is made by the grooving tool and from the center, and you can see the brass color of the apparatus clearly. Then there is one handle. When you just roll it, it will, the plate, this container will raise up and move downwards. That is the fall of this apparatus. So number of blows you have to take until and unless these 2 soil reaches to each other, and this gap should be next to 12.7, 12 mm gap should be there when they join. And when they join, you have to measure number of blows. So here example that for 12.7 mm number of blows were coming to you as 25. So take out the some soil in the can, weight it and calculate the water content as we have done in earlier classes, and then you take the second sample, third and fourth sample. So respectively you have to take 4 water contents, and this is the graph of the state, increasing soil volume and increasing moisture content. So this is the graph which is showing you that this is liquid limit, plastic limit and shrinkage limit, solid, semi-solid, plastic and viscous flow. So next is you have to draw a liquid limit graph when you calculate the water content for 4 to 5 readings. So you have to arrange those on vertical axis and on horizontal number of blows, and we have to calculate the value for 25 number of blows always. You have to take the semi-log graph paper. Here the 4 readings are plotted. This is the flow curve. It doesn't mean that you should draw the line that should join all the 4 points, but you have to draw such a line that the 4 points or maximum points are nearer to the flow line. So at 25 number of blows you have to project it on the flow line and project on the water content, you will get the liquid limit. So this graph is drawn on a semi-log graph paper. Then calculating this, you will calculate the flow index. IF equals to W1 minus W2 upon log N2 minus N1. You have to choose the positive value, so this value, and W you will calculate by this formula. Next is determination of the plastic limit of the soil from IS 2720 part 5 1965. So you will take 30 gram of soil and add some amount of water and make a ball by both the hands, and just like a laddu, and in the plate you will roll it with the help of the hand palm thrust. This will be the stress applied on the palm, so this will be your thread of the soil. So it should roll up to 3 mm rod. So after, and you have to roll up to the soil thread crumbles into 3 mm layer. So this is how the crumbling of soil roll of first sample is there. So again you have to take the containers and add those soil samples in other containers, and you have to calculate the water content, and average of that will give you the plastic limit. So after calculating the plasticity index limit, you have to calculate the plasticity index, which is the difference between liquid limit minus plastic limit. So these are the ranges of the plastic limit, and you can see that if there is a liquid limit, low plasticity, soil is almost non-cohesive, then it is less than 35. But if you can see extremely high plasticity, then it is greater than 90 degree. So our soil, black cotton soil, is highly plastic soil, which ranges from 50 to 70%. So if it is coming less than 50%, then you should again repeat the liquid limit. So this is the plastic limit, plasticity index, which we have got by taking liquid limit minus plastic limit, and this shows the type of soil. So this is the main index property of the soil, from where you know that which type of soil is there, whether it is cohesive soil or non-cohesive soil. If it is 0, then it is non-cohesive, non-plastic soil. Less than 7 silt, low plastic, partly cohesive. 7 to 17 silt, medium plastic, cohesive, and greater than 17 clay, highly plastic, cohesive soil. So we are dealing with black cotton soil, so it should be greater than 17 because it is a clay soil. And if you are not getting greater than 17, then again you have to do the experiment. So plasticity chart. So this is your plasticity chart. Yes, showing CL, low clay soil, inorganic clay soil, medium highly organic soils, medium inorganic soils. So all these are showing you the clays as well as the silts with liquid limit and plasticity index. So next is the determination of the shrinkage limit of the soil with respect to IS 2720 part 6 1972. So what you have to do is you have to take the soil volume Vi and soil mass M1. First take some soil and add some water and place it in the porcelain dish and weight it, then keep it into the oven for 24 hours. Take it out and take the soil mass, which is final volume, and mass M2. So shrinkage limit will be Wi % minus delta W percentage, that is M1 minus M2 upon N2 into 100 minus Vi minus Vf upon M2 into rho W into 100. Since it is expressed in percentage, will give you the shrinkage limit. So next is expansive soil. Various ways by which expansive soils can be determined are summarized below. Field observation: when you go on the site, you see the pattern of the cracks, you see the cohesiveness, consistency of the soil, whether it is swelling or shrinking or what is happening. So all these what are the walls available surrounding each and everything, when you go on the site inspection, that is known as the field observation. देन डिटेक्शन ऑफ मोनमोरिलोनाइट क्ले, ये है कि नहीं बहुत ज़रूरी होता है, बिकॉज दिस इज़ द हाईली एक्सपेंसिव क्ले. इफ़ इट इज़ प्रेजेंट दैन द सॉइल इज़ वेरी एक्सपेंसिव, विच इज़ बैड फॉर कंस्ट्रक्शन एज वेल एज foundation material. So this is done with respect to the differential thermal analysis DTA, एक्सरे डिफ्रैक्शन मेथड से. माइक्रोस्कोपिक मेथड होता है ये, इससे हमको पता चल जाता है कि मोनमोरिलोनाइट क्ले इज़ प्रेजेंट और नॉट. After doing that, general characteristics of the swelling soils. So swelling soils, which are clay soils, are also called expansive soils. When these soils are partially saturated, they increase the volume with the addition of water. Of course, if water is added, they swell like anything and increase the volume. They shrink greatly on drying and develop cracks on the surface. And if you leave for 24 hours, and after 24 hours, if you can see, there are many cracks. These soils possess a high plasticity index. So black cotton soil is a highly cohesive, highly expansive soil having high plasticity index. So black cotton soils found in many parts of India belong to this category. Their color varies from dark grey to black. It is easy to recognize these soils in the field during either dry or wet season. Shrinkage cracks are visible on the ground surface during dry seasons. The maximum width of these cracks may be up to 20 mm or more, and they travel deep into the ground. The lump of dry black cotton soil requires a hammer to break. During rainy season, the soil become very sticky and very difficult to traverse. Of course, it becomes hard, it becomes like a stone, you cannot break by the hand. You have to take some instrument to break. And in rainy season, it loses its shear strength such that if you just take it into the hand, you will mold in any shape. And next is, the studies have shown that this kind of expansive soil are often formed in the semi-arid regions, where there are enough water available to weather the parent rock, but not quite enough to wash out the cations formed in the environment. And next is, normally the water table is met at greater depths in these regions. So what happens, sometimes there are cycles, dry and wet seasons, and with respect to this, the cracks and swelling and shrinkage potential is developed in this soil, and this is very difficult. So from figure you are able to see that how the depth is there and how the moisture when the moisture content increases, the swelling increases, and with respect to depth. And there is a seasonal change, HS and HD is the desiccation. So whenever swelling up is there, moisture content increases, so the swelling will take place, and moisture content decreases, there will be reduction in swelling pressure. So swelling pressure. So swelling pressure is given by IS 2720 part 12 1977. It is denoted by PS, defined as the pressure required to be applied over the swelling over a swelling soil specimen to prevent its expansion when it is in contact with water. You are not allowing the soil to swell, that is known as swelling pressure calculation. It is done with the help of odometer, is one of the instrument which is used to calculate the swelling pressure. So you have to take initial water content, then final water content, dry density, etc. And the swelling pressure is calculated in the laboratory, and then the swelling pressure is calculated with respect to this. So swelling pressure of the soil less than 30 kilonewton per meter square indicates expansiveness, whereas some clays such as bentonite may have swelling pressure 2000 kilonewton per meter square. Also, bentonite is also a swelling expansive soil, but since its swelling pressure is 2000, so it is low expansive, and this greater than 30, then it is highly expensive soil. So this is all for today. Thank you so much.